This is episode 4 of the Blasian Titan Nation podcast. We're going to be talking about sex, all right? But not just sex. You know, every time I talk about sex, it'll be a different type of or topic with the sex being the underlining, right? Or sex being, the main point of the whole podcast. When I do these podcasts, when I do them, I want to make sure that everybody's comfortable, that everybody is able to handle this type of talk, because a lot of people can't. A lot of people cannot handle this type of talk, and a lot of people aren't able to handle this type of talk. So this is a warning to everybody, and everybody who sees it on my live stream right now. You know, viewer discretion is strongly advised. Okay, you know, there could be stuff that I might talk about that's going to make you feel uncomfortable, and if it ever does, by all means, feel free to either stop listening, mute the stream, mute the podcast, mute the audio, mute it, or move on to something else if you feel uncomfortable. Okay, but if you are open and you want to have a conversation, the main question I ask on this very podcast is sex important in a relationship? That's the main question I want to ask each and every one of you guys. All right, and women and females who are watching or listening. Okay, is sex important in a relationship? Is it? You know, we've all had women in our past or men in our past affect us in a negative way. We all had relationships that, you know, we became brokenhearted. This question is so broad because you have some people saying sex is important in a relationship. You cannot be with someone without having sex, because if you don't have sex, if you don't have any sort of intimacy with that person, it's like there's no close connection. Like when you have a close connection with someone, you make love, you have intercourse with that person, there's a connection that you have. You can't explain it, but it's an emotional connection, you know, because everybody has their own sexual preferences. Everybody has their own personal preferences when it comes to sex. You know, communication is important when it comes to sex. You got to communicate with your partner. You got to let your partner know, hey, this is what I like. This is what I don't like. This is what, you know, what I want you to be done to me. Maybe they had a rough time. Maybe their previous partner was too rough. Consent is key. You know, don't force someone to do something that they don't want to do. Never force your partner to do something they do not want to do. Okay, if they don't want to do anal, don't do anal. Don't try to like convince them to do anal. The only reason why they want to do anal is because you like anal. So you're gonna do anal for them. They're doing it for you. They're doing it because they know that it feels good for you. You know, I like my cum swallowed. I like it. I like it when my cum is swallowed. But not a lot of women like to swallow cum, right? Not a lot of women like it. Not a lot of women like to swallow sperm. So when it comes down to it, I'm not gonna, you know, force that woman to swallow my sperm. No, it is what it is. it is what it is. It's like, don't force someone to do something that they're not comfortable doing or they have no desire to do. In my opinion, if that's a deal breaker for you, if a woman is not willing to go down on you or to swallow your cum, then don't be with that woman. Go find a woman that is willing to do those things and have a great personality that you have emotional connection with. Like I said before, you got to be physically attracted to her and you got to be emotionally attracted to her. And the same thing with men, you know, physical and emotional attraction. They go hand in hand together. That's based on my experiences. But between when I was in high school, like 17, 18 until now, I'm 35. That's a big gap. That's a huge gap of time for me. Allows me to grow, allows me to learn, allows me to make mistakes. You know, I've been in relationships. I've been broken up with. I've left relationships as well, you know, and did I feel proud of it? No, but at least I was honest. At least I was upfront in those relationships. And none of those relationships in the past ever, I was very lucky. Like a lot of the women in my past were horny as fuck. A lot of women in my past, they were horny. They wanted to have sex. It wasn't a requirement, but I think it was expected. You know, they knew how I was. So again, it's all about meeting somebody that matches your sexual energy. You know, if you want my opinion, is sex important in a relationship? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It is. It is very important. It is very important. I know a lot of people disagree, but hear me out here. Hear me out here. Okay, there is something in your brain. It's called oxytocin. Let me just look up oxytocin for you. All right, oxytocin is a natural hormone that manages key aspects of the female and male reproductive systems, including labor and delivery and lactation, as well as aspects of human behavior. All right, so when I type in, let's say, for example, I'm going to type in, is sex important in a relationship? And one of the first things that pops up is increased intimacy, right? Sexual activity is a type of physical intimacy that releases the hormone oxytocin, which produces feelings of emotional connection and intimacy. Therefore, sex can deepen the bonds between partners and foster feelings of closeness, emotional well-being, and relationship satisfaction. Man, that literally sums it up. That literally sums it up right there. But the main thing is the whole thing with, you know, older people dating or being in relationships with younger people. And in my mind, does sex matter to them? You know, when you're in a relationship with an older person, let's just say they're not a celebrity. They're not some rich ass celebrity, you know, they're not. Majority of the time, when a rich celebrity, or when you're dating an older, or you're in a relationship, or you see relationships with older people, majority of the time, when you see relationships with older people, it's literally about money. It's about, how they can take care of me. You know, does sex really matter to that older person? Probably not. If you are a 70-year-old man or woman, or 80-year-old man or woman, and you are taking on a 20-year-old or a 30-year-old as a wife, I mean, does that 30 or 20-year-old even care about the sex? So when you ask that person who is in a relationship or gets married to an older person, does that person say, is sex important? Or does that person say, yes, sex is important? And in their situation, I don't think so. But deep down inside, sex is important. Maybe they're having it on the side. You know, maybe it's not right, you know, it's not right, but it happens all the time. You know, people are used constantly. And, you know, in situations where people are desperate, man, the thought of sex just goes out the window. It really does. The thought of sex just goes out the window. In my opinion, you should be with somebody who can sexually please you. And if you aren't able to find that person, then you should be able to sexually please yourself. You know, you come first. If you can sexually please yourself, right? If you're satisfied with yourself, if you're satisfied with like being sexually open with who you are, then, you know, that person or whoever that person is will come and find you, or you'll probably meet them someday, or just go out and try to find that person. Even when after you have kids, sex is still important. Having a healthy sex life is great, you know, to keep things fresh, because when you don't have a healthy sex life, what happens? You end up cheating on each other. Someone is going to get hurt. You know, the person that you had kids with or you're in a relationship with is going to get hurt. You know, maybe like you are like, this happens a lot with married couples, a lot. Shit, still do it with the kids asleep next to us. Oh, hell yeah, Ray. See, people like yourself, Ray, have a healthy sex life. All right, have a healthy sex life, even after having kids. After you have kids with each other and you still have sex with each other, why not? Why not? Why the hell not? Welcome in, Mari. How you doing? Let me ask you, Mari, is sex important in a relationship? Is sex important? If the person that you meet up with says, hey, you know, sex is not important to me, is that a deal breaker? Like, no. Like, but again, how many men out there are going to be like, no, sex is not important to me? You have to be a very specific type of man. Like, usually they're religious. usually they're religious. It's not a deal breaker for you. Oh, really? So you can be in a relationship without having sex, you know? You can be in a sexless relationship. In my opinion, I don't know if it's going to last. I mean, sex occasionally. Okay. But if it's like either sex or no sex, like no occasional sex, like either we're having sex or we're not having sex, one or the other, you know, because there's some women out there and men too, that want to get in relationships and want to save themselves for marriage. You know, they want to have sex they don't want to have sex until they're married. And I remember watching this video online. this YouTube video, and it's this, I don't know, it's just like, it was like on, I don't know what channel it was, Jubilee, I don't know what channel it was, but it had this couple, you know, I think they were playing like Truth or Drink, I don't even know what the hell they're doing, but they're both like, it was like a sexual question that came up, and they're like, yeah, we're both saving ourselves from marriage. I was like, what? Damn. No sex would be hard because then we're just friends. Exactly. I'm sure a sexless relationship is possible, but it's hard, I imagine. Yes, it is hard. It's very hard. It's very hard. Like, you cannot be in a relationship without having sex. It's, in my opinion, you need to do it. And if I ever have a child, if I ever had a son or a daughter, I tell them the same thing. It's a part of life. It's a part of it. You know, the best situation is to educate people on it. You know, I'm not a Sue Johansson. By all means, I am not a sex expert like Dr. Ruth. Like, for all you Americans, Dr. Ruth. For us, it's Sue Johansson. I am not a sex educator at all. But I'm willing to be open and talk about, you know, sex, especially with my kid, especially with my child, you know, growing up, you know. And oh, we got an Amber Alert. And I'm willing to be open and to be able to say, hey, this is when they become a teenager. You know, hormones change. They start to change. They start to like boys. They like to start to like girls. I'd have that open conversation with them. Honestly, I'd talk about masturbation. I would talk about relationships. I would definitely talk about sex. You know, what do they feel like they're attracted to? Are they attracted to boys or to girls? You know, if I had a son or a daughter that was, you know, lesbian or gay, trans, whatever the case may be, you know, I have an open conversation about it. You know, I'm not going to push them away. You know, when it comes to their attitude and personality, that's when I have to draw the line there. But when it comes to their sexuality, you know, we can have an open conversation. I'm very open about communication, consent. You know, there's a lot of women out there. There's tons of women, you know. If there's, man, all these men, I'm telling you, if there's a woman out there that is not for you, but you're attracted to her, who cares? If she's not attracted to you, go move on. Move the fuck on. Move on. You know, go get out of there. Stop trying to. I see it all the time on Twitch too. Oh my God, I see it all the time on Twitch. You know, all these guys up in here, up in the streams, you know, trying to get the female's attention. Obviously she's beautiful. Obviously she's hot. You know, they're all trying to get her attention. Maybe she likes it. Maybe she likes the attention. I don't know. Maybe she likes it. Maybe she loves it. But to think that you have a chance, you have a shot with her, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of these women on Twitch like fake that they have a boyfriend. You know, like they just say that they have a boyfriend so that they don't get all these DMs or these weird ass messages sent to them. You know. I don't know, man. It's weird. It's weird. These parasocial relationships on Twitch, weird. Thinking that you got a shot. I'm telling you, you don't have a shot. You don't. You do not have a shot. Sorry. I hate to be that guy, but you do not have a shot, you know, unless the other person, doesn't matter if it's a male or female, unless the other person says, hey, you know what? I like you. You know, you're the one for me, or I want to, you know, continue talking to you, you know. But if you keep sending messages back and forth, you know, and there's no like really anything in there that's like relating to a relationship or anything that's going to be like, oh, I'm going to be with her, you know, I'm going to be dating her. And it's just weird if you don't know them IRL. You're just trying to get with them online. I don't know, man. It's weird. It's just strange. I don't believe in this online dating. I don't believe it. I don't believe in it. You got to meet up in person. Like, it's different. You don't have no screen. You have nothing. You have none of this. You know, none of this, you know, blocking. You know, I don't care if it's like on a Zoom call or a Skype call. Skype and Zoom, it doesn't do anything. Doesn't mean anything. You know, it doesn't matter. It does not matter. You know, back then for me, it was MSN Messenger. When you meet people on MSN Messenger, it's not the same versus you meet them in person. When you meet them in person, you're looking into their eyes. You're feeling their energy. You can feel their energy. You can't feel their energy through a screen. You can't feel that. You can't feel a person's energy through a fucking screen. You can't. Meet up IRL in a public place, coffee shop, whatever. Get to know each other, you know? But I don't know, man. This whole thing of you know, trying to get laid, trying to find a sex partner on Twitch is just don't even bother, man. Don't even bother. I've gotten some very weird, overly sexual, kinky messages from men on Twitch, and they're borderline scary. Yeah, right? I can only imagine female streamers, what they get on a daily basis. Healthy relationship plus healthy sex is great. It's great. Taking for myself, because I'm the type of guy that cannot be in a relationship without a healthy sex, without occasional sex, you know, like we don't have to have sex all the time. And I keep repeating this over and over and over again. Sex to me is important in a relationship. It is. It truly is. Sex to me is important. You know, it is. And I just wanted to say that if I ever get into a situation where I can't have sex, then I probably would rather be single. You know, if I get to the older age and I'm not with my wifey that I am with right now, something happens between us and I get into a relationship with another person, I don't know if I could. I don't know if I could. I'd rather just be single. Can you be in a sexless relationship? Like, some people can and some people can't. Some people can be in a sexless relationship and some people cannot be. Some people, like I said before, some people can save themselves for marriage and others can't. I do not recommend people save themselves for marriage. I do not. If you're in a relationship with somebody and you're very close with that person, you know, in my opinion, you don't have to save for marriage. Why do you have to save for marriage? You know, just have sex with that person if you trust them. If you know, if you're a virgin and they're a virgin, you might as well get it done and over with now, you know, figure it out now versus later when you're married and you just don't know what to do. It's not healthy. It's not. It can bring the relationship to a halt if there isn't sort of an agreement on it. I'd say that I'm 50-50. I have months where I'm good without it, but it's something that I would need time to time. Everybody needs it. Everybody does. Everybody needs it. Don't get me wrong. There are some relationships where they work without sex, but it's like, I don't know. It's strange. You know, if you are young, if you're in your mid-20s, you know, and you are a fresh couple, I mean, there has to be a reason. There has to be a reason why you decide not to have sex in a relationship. If someone that you're trying to date, especially, you know, trying to find someone who agrees with you, who consents with you, you know, if a woman came up to me, if I was like interested in a woman and the woman said to me, hey, you know, I'm not really big on sex. Like, I don't like to have sex in a relationship. It's not really important to me. It's like one of those, yeah, bye, move on. And I'm pretty sure there's some women out there when a guy tells you, which it's very rare that men say that, hey, you know, I like you and everything, but I don't really want to have sex with you. I'm not a big sexual guy, you know. I just don't have any intention to have sex. You know, it's just, some women are like, what the fuck? Why the hell are we in a relationship then? For the average person, it doesn't work. You have to remember that there are asexual people who go into relationships for the companionship and security of someone they trust. Yeah, that's true. Oh, we're having the birds and bees talk? Oh my God, cuz! What happens when men go long periods without, you know, having sex? And I don't recommend it. Honestly, that's why I always recommend men to masturbate. Guys, jerk off, all right? Masturbate. It's healthy for you. You know, you don't want no prostate cancer, okay? It prevents you from getting prostate cancer. Please jerk off, masturbate, find some porn that you like to watch. All right, please and thank you. So you don't believe in semen retention? I don't. You gotta let it out. Man, you always can make more. It's not good to keep it all in there. I've done it and it's not good. It's not because let me tell you, when you don't masturbate, this is from my perspective. Okay, if you don't masturbate for months at a time, weeks at a time, hell, even close to a year. I have not gone 1 year without masturbation. I can't just not masturbate. I can't, you know? Like, this is before I met my wifey, right? There's times where I'm like, okay, I need to do this. I got to do it. I got to. I appreciate you too, ladies and number one fan. I mean, scientifically, it's been proven that men have lower chances of prostate cancer by simply nutting. Yes, they do. And the reason why I recommend it is because of your behavior. Like, a lot of the guys, come on, guys, you all know how you act, how you are when you don't masturbate, when you don't, if you don't ejaculate. If you don't ejaculate, then you go crazy. Like, before I met my wifey, when I was in Vancouver, oh my God. Like, if I didn't masturbate, it would just be like, whoa, that woman, I want to talk to her. I'm looking at her, you know? Like, you just go, it's something in your brain. I can't explain it. I cannot explain it. But I know other men out there feel that same way as well. You know, if you don't have sex and, you know, you're not getting laid, you know, you're getting rejected, whatever the case may be, you go crazy. You got to jerk off. You got to masturbate. You have to. It's healthy. And don't let anyone else make fun of you for it. You know, it is what it is. You know, I'm embarrassed that some people made fun of me for masturbating, you know, like I was saying before, when I was living in Vancouver, I was living in a 1-bedroom apartment and I was living with 2 other guys One of them had a girlfriend in the master bedroom. I was living in the living room and the other guy was living in the sunroom. You know, I got to masturbate. I told them, hey, guys, between 2 a.m. and 5 a.m., be cautious when you leave your rooms. Be cautious, because you never know. I might be jerking off. I might be masturbating. Sorry, guys. I'm not going to buy dividers. I don't care if you catch me masturbating. I don't care. I don't. I'm not going to be embarrassed. It's a completely normal thing to do. Completely normal thing. Completely. You know, I believe in a strong relationship. I believe that you don't really need to get married, in my opinion. You know, what's the difference between a strong relationship and marriage? You know, me and my wife, we have been together for 9 years. 9 years. 9. So what? What's marriage gonna, how does that make our lives different? The only reason why it will make our lives different is because of how other people view us. You know, how other people view me. You know, in my family, marriage is, my mom was a big advocate of it. You know, she didn't believe in like relationships. Like there's no believing in a long-term relationship or like a relationship that is strong. It's like, you're with this woman, she got married, she got pregnant, now you gotta marry her. That's exactly what happened with my oldest brother, my kuya, you know? And I did not like that. I didn't like it. I didn't understand it when I was younger, but as I got older, I was like, damn, mom forced you to marry someone. And it didn't feel like they eventually got, you know, separate. They eventually got divorced. Eventually. They got a house and everything, but eventually got divorced. And again, I don't know, that's personal to him. But when they got divorced, it was a big thing. It was huge. But if they had a strong relationship in the very first place, I mean, there's people out there who have kids who are not even married at all. They still have strong relationships. They still do. They don't need to get married. Some people here are just common law. I'm pretty much married. I'm common law with my wife right now. We have a house, you know. And what is, in my opinion, what is marriage gonna do? It's not really gonna do everything. It's not gonna affect our life, our sex life. Like it's not. It isn't. My thoughts on sex and relationships is that I mean, it can't be a requirement. It can't be a requirement, but in my opinion, it should be. In my opinion, it should be. It should be. It should be, you know, because it's a part of life. It's a part of who we are. It's a part of evolution. You know, none of us would exist if someone didn't ejaculate their sperm into someone else. You know, not everybody can be in a sexless relationship. Not everybody. You know, I can only imagine if majority of the people on this planet are in a sexless relationship. Majority. I can only imagine what life would be like without people having sex. Would I exist? Would anybody who is listening or watching this, would they exist? It's a part of who we are. It's a part of literally our life. And sex is around us. It truly is. Anybody can have sex, but not everybody can be in a relationship. You know, everybody can fulfill their own sexual desires, but are they able to fulfill the desires of another person? What their wants, their needs, what are their goals in life? Are they able to assist or help? You know, do they care? Or are they just self-centered and they just care about themselves? And that's the thing. You know, the whole relationship aspect of it is broad in itself. Sex is like part of the relationship aspect. And if people, in my opinion, if people focus on just this, if you have good sex, but your relationship is just crumbling, like if your personalities are like, you know, you constantly are fighting, but in order to solve that fighting, you fuck each other's brains out. Is that really a healthy relationship? To some people, sex is important, you know, to myself, sex is important, you know, but there's other aspects to a relationship that allows a relationship to last. You know, sex is just one part of it. It truly is. I would never be with my wifey for 9 years if sex was like, oh man, you know, sex is like the only thing. No. It's the relationship that we have with each other, that we have built. That's the thing. I'm back. I love this platform for you. So perfect for podcasts. Oh, thank you, Blaze, number one fan. I love you, bro. I love you. I know a guy who is great in bed, but I think I hate him, so I've stopped seeing him. But damn, I know, right? You know, I knew women in my past that were fucking awesome in bed, hot ass titties, beautiful face, but their personality is pure garbage. It's pure fucking garbage. It's all about them. I've met a lot of self-centered women in my past, a lot, because these women are so used to just having all the attention on them, right? They're just used to having all the attention on them. Like, look at me, you know, because they know that they're hot. They know that they're beautiful. They get hit on a lot. They don't beg for sex. I don't think a lot of women in my past has ever begged another man to have sex with them. If you look like Megan Fox or Beyonce, you think you're begging another man to have sex with you? No. Are you paying for another man to have sex with you? No. No way. Women do not need to pay to have sex. It depends on where you are in life, but if you are in your early 20s, I can't even picture a woman, you know, paying money to have a guy fuck them. I cannot. I cannot. In your early 20s? No, what? There's no way. No way. Maybe as you get older, but that's a stretch. That's a stretch. You won't need to pay to have sex with anybody. I appreciate you all, like, from the bottom of my heart. You know, I'm just happy to have a place where I can just talk about this shit openly. Thank you very much. I'll be back next Monday for another podcast talking about positivity in the workplace. I'm gonna go balls deep into that topic because I got a lot to say.